AITA for refusing to speak to someone's lawyer after my number was given without my permission, and I previously said I didn't want to be involved. This story is ridiculous. Bear with me. A few months ago, my 35F sister, Penny, 36F, told me about our sister Jessica's 38F friend, Lisa's son. There was an incident at the summer camp he was attending. This is Jessica's friend Lisa's son. He left the building by himself unnoticed by several staff walking a considerable distance. I thought it was crazy, but I didn't think more about it. A few weeks after I interviewed for a position at a summer camp, 30 minutes into the interview, the owner starts rambling and telling me the job's going to be rough. I was taken aback, but I was glad she was honest and upfront. She then starts telling me very confidential information about a child that left their center. She even showed me papers from the state detailing the investigation, and I was able to see the kid's name and mother's name and employees involved. It's at this point she tells me she's in danger of losing her license. During all that, I connect the dots and realize I'm at the same place Lisa's son attended, which is Jessica's friend. Sorry, I just have trouble keeping track of these things. So, I am really desperate for a job, though, so I was still going for it because the pay was good. I talked to Jessica the next day. I said, you wouldn't believe what place I just interviewed at, blah, 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 sister talk. But then I made the mistake of saying the camp owner showed me and talked about confidential things. An hour later, Jessica calls me on a three-way with Lisa on the phone and saying tell her what you told me about that camp. I was shocked and I felt like such an idiot because I know my sister runs her mouth. I felt really put on the spot and pressured, so I told her the same thing. Lisa then said she was going to sue the camp for breach of confidentiality. I texted Jessica and said, please let Lisa know I don't want to be involved and that I regret saying anything. I said there's more than enough evidence to sue since multiple staff let a child leave unnoticed and that I don't need to be involved in the confidentiality stuff. The next day is a Saturday, and the day of my aunt's funeral, my phone is blown up with emails, text calls from the owner of the camp. I decided to call back when we get to the repast. Repast? I don't know what that is. She's interrogating me about who I talked to after interviewing because she's getting sued by a parent. And the parent told her she spoke to someone that interviewed. I was livid at this point and annoyed at myself for getting in the situation. 2 more days that week, I got calls and voicemailed and was interrogated over the phone. I hadn't even formally accepted the job yet. 2 weeks have passed since my initial interview. Today, I got a text from Lisa, who must have gotten my number from Jessica. She's asked me to talk to her counsel law team and repeat what I said. AITA for wanting to block her number and not respond since I already said I don't want to get involved.
This one's hard.
Okay, so my question is, first of all, I'm curious as to why she said there's more than enough evidence to sue from other from other information. So why does she need Lisa? Presumably because she wants Lisa to testify that this adult disclosed this information, right, in an interview. But my question is, what breached confidentiality? Like, what is the confidentiality based on?
Right, because there's...
is there something in the contract of the summer camp that says, we will never talk about your child and mention their name? I mean, granted, I don't think it was wise of the summer camp owner to do that, but I just don't understand why Lisa is a precipient witness to anything other than the fact that maybe the camp counselor said that a child wandered off in this.
Right, because there was another situation on our subreddit. I think people maybe have this idea that, like, HIPAA exists for everything. Like, anything you say to anyone is secret. And it's like, that's not true. No. Like, obviously, there's a reason they don't put a kid's name in the paper.
Right.
Because he's a minor. But it's not...
Right, and that's why in court cases, if a minor is involved, it's always abbreviated. There's a pseudonym.
But it's not illegal, is it? I mean, is it illegal, for instance, if you work at a school and then you were to go and say, Billy Smith, got caught smoking weed in the bathroom. It's not like a HIPAA violation. It's not comparable, is it? Is there some kind of school HIPAA?
I mean, well, I'd ask the question, who are they saying it to, and is it true? Like, if it's not true, then it's defamation. But
right.
The question would just be, what is the presumption of confidentiality predicated on? I'm not aware of any
school
law
HIPAA
that says, like, you're not allowed to say somebody went to this summer camp.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. There might be a law. There might be something that says like you can't share name. I'm not aware of it, but
Big summer camp is a notoriously litigious.
Don't mess with them. I have a question. I can't believe this. It's not really a question. It's more of a fact, and it makes me question the whole story. How much money is she getting paid at this summer camp? Like, I've never heard of a summer camp that you would risk like getting involved in a lawsuit. You're like, I got to get this summer camp job. I feel like they're notoriously low pay. So I question her storytelling.
You don't believe that a summer camp could pay people well, especially
Well
not
enough.
one that lets a child wander off.
Yeah.
It sounds poorly run.
No wonder they're getting sued. Yeah.
And also the thing is just the child wandered off. That was the whole
That was the whole thing. Yeah. That's honestly, the story is
Why
hard for
is
me to understand. Like, the child wandered
I feel
off.
like OP left something out, importantly. Something important out. Original post.
Well, if your child wandered off, would that not be grounds for something?
The child wandered off, and then they got upset about it. And then this woman, she heard that story, went to the interview, and the camp person mentioned it. She's like, this is the place. Oh, well, I got to get that hot camp counselor money. And then she mentions it, and then the mom calls.
And what are they suing the summer camp for? I guess presumably they're suing for negligence. Like,
that's what you would sue
However,
for.
in order to do that, you need to show that you were harmed in some way.
Right. That's what I was going to say. The law, because like I feel like there's certain people who are very like, they'll get really mad because they'll be like, something bad could have happened.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, something bad could have happened, but nothing bad didn't happen. The law doesn't care if something bad could have happened, right? If you put someone in a grave risk, if we go in my airplane and I tell you, Christy, this plane ain't got any wheels, right? You know, we're not landing softly in this motherfucker.
It's a tuck and roll.
And then we land, but no one's injured. It was fucking scary. You're angry at me.
Yeah, so that's emotional distress.
I told you in the air.
That is a harm in itself. People would say that's negligent infliction of emotional distress. Or something happened.
So something that might be there.
Unclear what happened with the child other than
if he wandered away and became very afraid that he was lost or something like that. So there is potentially something there. Okay.
So I don't know the details of, this is like this stuff of first year law school of like, oh, well, let's explore all the hypothetical
situation.
That sounds so fun. I would love that.
All the missing facts that we would want to know in order to assess the situation. And, but I guess ultimately, it just seems like this person's not a witness to anything other than the fact that she mentioned that a case was going on.
Yeah.
So I would want to know what this...
Or that the counselor said, she just repeated what the counselor said, which is like, we had a kid wander off one time and that was bad. So don't do that if we hire you. And the kid's name was this.
Tell me you're not pouring out all your legal drama on the girl we just interviewed. Like, how inappropriate.
Yeah.
Not to say it's not... It's certainly not appropriate to talk about, but I'm just wondering what the actionable... what their theory is.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe she signed an NDA. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we could get into all the legal aspects, but I think the question, and I think what a lot of people might wonder about this is, this is all civil, right? We're talking about maybe emotional distress, but what I'm curious about is, let's say it's murder, though. I witness a murder. The government can compel me. You can't just go, I don't want to go. They can make you go.
Right. That's what a subpoena is.
A subpoena is you better fucking come.
A subpoena is
you better get here.
The weight of the court now, and we can hold you in contempt if you do not show up. So, Lisa...
Just go, Gotti. If you saw the murder, go.
I don't like to talk about it. Okay.
Lisa can absolutely not... She can dodge the calls all day long. But then once she gets served with that subpoena...
Then it's over.
Then she's...
Gotta go. But
so if I were, and I didn't want to talk to somebody, but then I'd have to be dodging and not answering the door.
Right.
Somebody's going to come serve her.
But in a criminal case, I did go to law school, and by that I mean I watched the practice. Let's say a witness they went to the subpoena, but the subpoena won't be like straight up to the trial, right? They can be a little dodgy. Or eventually you can most people want to cooperate, right?
Well, there's different types of subpoenas. So you can compel somebody to show up for a deposition, and then there's also to testify in court. And also to produce documents. There's just different types.
But they go, oh, I don't want to. It's traumatizing for me to talk about. I don't want to talk about it. But you can eventually compel them.
I mean, sometimes they make themselves unavailable.
I got a
and
trip.
dodge.
I'm going on a trip.
Yeah. So, but you have to have like a really good reason, but simply saying I don't want to isn't a good enough reason to not show up in court. But you would probably at that point get a lawyer who would make what was called a motion to quash, where you try to quash the subpoena.
Really?
Yeah.
A motion to quash.
Yeah. And
very
basically
whimsical
saying,
sounding.
This is a fucking joke.
I feel like
This is not necessary.
when they say quash, they go,
Quashed.
quash, bro.
You got quashed.
Motion to quash, bro. Granted. Thanks, bro.
Anyway, sorry, that's...
No.
That was great.
That was great.
That was what we wanted.
I'm just like so like I have questions I think the law can't explain but again the hot money bit really has me questioning her integrity. Also just like I feel like she's leaving out things that happened to the child in
That's
this
what
post.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
to make her case look better.
To be like it's cool, right? That I don't do anything and I just take this hot
Right.
summer camp money.
Because
There's people out there though who are litigious.
yeah, I just want to know why this parent is so
Upset
offended
about her child. I mean, it's not great because it sounded like that many people saw the child wander away and did nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she didn't give us too much information about what actually happened. You know what I mean? But I guess to me, the number one indicator to me that something serious did happen is that OP is finding out in her first job interview and they're just pouring it out. I'm like, you sound a little unhinged.
It sounds like maybe she shouldn't. Yeah, I feel like she should ask a different question, honestly. Like, do you guys think I should work here?
Well, yeah, and it's like you're so desperate for money that I mean, if it's legitimate, I don't know. I mean, that's really my only counter on the sort of people who are suing side. I'm like, there are people out there, right, who just like to sue people. It's like how they get off. They like the power of it.
Yeah, I guess they can afford summer camps and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So the question is, am I an asshole for just not talking to this person?
That's what I think.
She's not playing ball. Basically not. The attorney thinks that this can help the case. And now she doesn't want to help.
I would say you're not an asshole for not wanting to get involved. But if you, for whatever reason, we don't know the details, but if you're the only person who can testify as to a specific fact and a child is in danger or something like that, yeah, you are an asshole.
Yeah.
If this is just some parent who's like, I want to be litigious.
Yeah.
No.
Who's got an axe to burn?
An axe to grind.
Yeah.
An axe to burn.
Who's got an axe to burn? Switch it up.
That's getting aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning asshole because I'm like, this is someone in your network. And I know there are people who are like crazy like this, but I'm kind of like, it kind of just seems like you don't want to be involved with this and you want to do your own thing. And it's like, you're not going to help with this. It sounds like something did happen.
It sounds like
something
happened.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
I mean, a child leaving a building in the woods, not cool. Should not be
cool.
possible. Fair?
Yeah. As a child who has wandered
how old
off.
the child is?
It does not know.
I wandered off at school.
Did you?
Yeah, my
You
parents
wandered.
took me immediately away from that place.
See?
But I think they weren't paying for it, so I don't know.
Well, it's still unacceptable,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if it's free.
That's what you get.
Feed
for
you to the
public
bears
school.
just because it's free. RLK Griffiths writes, too late. You are in up to your eyeballs. Find a lawyer for yourself. At this point, I'm guessing you won't get that job, but probably for the best as they'll likely end up closed anyway. As far as Lisa and her legal team, give them your lawyer's number and any further contact should be lawyer to lawyer. Christy, does that seem necessary?
Well, like I said, if you want to fight the subpoena and not have to show up, you're probably going to have to get a lawyer.
Is it more, it must be more difficult to get a subpoena for a civil case like this, right? Than a murder? No.
I mean, I don't think I've prepared dozens of subpoenas before. You just file paperwork.
Subpoena's kind of a subpoena?
Say again?
Well, I guess I would think that, the judge has to approve it, right?
No.
Oh.
I think you have to follow a specific procedure. It depends on what you're requesting. If you're requesting like personal records or medical information, you have to notify the person, give them like an opportunity to object. You're probably going to hash it out
It's like a whole
about
thing.
whether, and then a lot of people just don't object. They're like, yeah, go ahead and get the records. I'm trying to prove my personal injury.
Right.
Whatever. But then sometimes, then when you you finally go before a court. It's when you disagree about the scope. And that's when you get before a judge.
But generally speaking, you're willing to say, you know, I saw a murder, that guy could get subpoenaed, and OP could get subpoenaed, and it would be relatively similar to call those people in. Wow. That's kind of crazy.
To call the people in to like testify. Yeah, you have to, if you're a witness to the police.
To a major thing, you got to come talk.
It's very similar. I guess I would think it'd be harder to pull someone in for a, you know, a trifling civil case like this.
If they're a relevant person.
The facts are the facts. That's interesting. Well, we all learned something.
But also, like, there is a difference, too, between pulling him in for, like, a deposition and then pulling him in to court to testify. Those are two different things.
Okay.
They're both under oath, but they're different burdens.
Got it. Nonetheless, I don't know if we're all aligned here, but I think we've had enough of this. AITA for refusing to speak to someone's lawyer after my number was given without my permission. I previously said I didn't want to be involved. I'm honestly, I just kind of feel like this person is being very difficult. I mean, it just seems like I feel like they should share this information, and I'm not ready to assume that the other people are just these caricatures of litigious monsters. I'm at YTA.
They're a shady narrator, I'd say.
Okay, so you're the asshole, and the other people aren't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say you're a full asshole, but I think you should have a part 2 post where you're like, I swear this is all the info I have, because I feel like information's missing. It doesn't make sense.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You're saying info, basically.
Yeah.
Christy, settle us.
You're also kind of dumb. Sorry, this sounds like a bad job. Run for your life. Okay, go ahead.
Wow. Gotti. Good Lord. Just straight up insulting OP.
Well, asshole or just like find out more info.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that if it's truly just to prove that it's to add one more claim on top of it, then I don't think it's an asshole. They're suing anyway, and they're just like, I don't want to. If they have nothing unique to add, if they have like a vital piece of information that only they can testify to, then yeah, I would say they're an asshole.
Seems reasonable to me. Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. All right, guys.
So a quick disclaimer, I am not giving legal advice.
No.
I'm just saying what I think based on my knowledge of the law, and it is very limited, and I haven't practiced in a few years.
Can I say a
It's an
disclaimer
entertainment
too?
podcast. Yes, you can.
I'm sorry I called you dumb, and I understand the need for money. I'm just saying, like, people are already suing, and this much drama is happening in just the application process. Like, do you really want this job? Like, I understand. Like, get into babysitting. Like, sounds like you live in a rich area. Okay, that's all. Sorry.
No, I thought
Like, rate, subscribe.
I don't know what kind of disclaimer that was, but it went out.